Hi, I'm Nick Shell, and no, this is not a video about Metallica. It's actually a video about hair loss. But let me work my way to that point. Now, a few weeks ago, I spent some money on a CD that I loved, and for me, it was the best album of 2016. Maybe you've never heard of it, but it was Relient K, Air for Free. I loved it. Perfect album. And after I heard that, I was like, man, I've got a $25 gift card for Target that I got for Christmas. It's kind of burning a hole in my pocket, but because I'm such a cheap guy, I had to wait until albums came on sale that I wanted to buy. And you know, I don't do digital music really. I just stick with old school CDs because I'm in the car for like an hour and a half a day, at least. So, I went to Target today. I had one particular album in mind, and, of all things, it happened to be on sale. It's only like 14. Now I got it for 10. So this is Metallica's newest album, came out, and Hardwired. And I'm not like a huge Metallica fan. I have a few of their albums, their better, most famous albums. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, they've got another album. Well, when this past weekend, while I was in the surgical holding room at Vanderbilt University with my son in Nashville, I had a lot of time on my hands. When he was taking a nap, I would just look up stuff on YouTube. And I knew that this came out, that let me just check this out to see if I like anything from it. Would it ever be worth buying? And every song I heard from it was just amazing. And it's interesting, like the likeness of one of my favorite bands, Guster. They made a music video for every song. It looks like there's like what, 12? Let's see, 12 songs. It looks like. It's funny, the songs are so long. It's a double CD, but there's only 12 songs on it. So I was like, man, I'm going to have to buy that. So I went today, and of all things, it was on sale, along with a couple other CDs I've been wanting to buy. 21 Pilots. I've been wanting that because, you know, on my blog, I get sent free cars sometimes to review, and I get free XM radio. And I was hearing their stuff, like, man, this is great. And of course, I'm a huge fan of Red Hot Chili Peppers, so I got their newest album as well. And that's a just amazing band. Big fan of them. However, though, let's talk more about Metallica. So, this album, I love everything I've heard from it. And it's funny because normally I don't listen to darker, heavier stuff like this, but if it's good, I can appreciate it. And so last night before I was going to bed, and it's funny to think this is what I was doing right before I went to bed, but I looked up, I've just been like searching new song, like each new track of their album until I've seen all their videos, and I haven't made it all the way through. I'm almost there, but I was watching one for Am I Savage? Am I Savage? It's near the end of the album. And so I'm going to hold this up just for a visual, just because it makes the thumbnail look more interesting once I get the lighting right. But, or would this be better? Is that better? Does that look cool for my thumbnail? No. So as I was watching the video for this, for Am I Savage, and it's actually a pretty interesting and relevant, video anyway. And maybe for you at your age, it doesn't really stand out as that big of a deal. But for me, it does. It was completely relevant. It's about this guy, and it's kind of going through his life, his family life, his work life. And, you know, him being a happy, hardworking guy like me, and he looks to be about my age, about age 35, wife and 2 kids like me, and happy to be at his job like me, all those things, so much like me. And as you see him, everything's black except for just him. He's normal, but every person in his life is like in a white unitard to kind of just make him really the spotlight of his own life. And he goes through life happy, but ultimately you see kind of this side screen version of him, like this savage version of him, and, you know, tearing off his shirt and kind of crying out, is this really who I am? Is this what life is really about? So amazingly done video. I love the song, Am I Savage? But in this video, and man, it's getting hot in here. All right. And here we are in winter, and I'm hot. So as I'm watching this video, I'm thinking, I can relate to that. And I think that's probably pretty universal. But as I'm watching this, and I'm sorry you've had to watch nearly 5 minutes into this video for me to get the point. I'm sorry. That's how I am. You know me. But I'm looking at the guy who's playing, you know, the main character, like me, and as I'm placing myself in it. And I look at his hairline, obviously, because that's what I do. And I realized that his hairline is very comparable to mine. Of course, on a perfect hair day like this, it's not obvious, but on all my other videos that start out with check out my, you can see as I expose my hairline, what my hairline really looks like. So if you'll watch the video, Am I Savage by Metallica, it's like a 7-minute video. You don't have to watch the whole thing, but you'll see what I'm talking about. The guy's hairline, I think very much could be a doppelganger of my hairline, as far as that goes. So actually, I want to look this guy up, and if you find out his name, leave it in the comments so I know who this guy is that is the main character in this Am I Savage video. But I was like, wow, you know, that is the definition of someone who is embracing the receding hairline or the hair loss, whatever you want to call it. He's embracing it, which is what stage I'm at now. You know, you can shave your head, you can take Propecia, you can get a hair transplant, you can do all these things to deal with your hair loss. And as I mentioned in the video before this, there's a gradient as far as where you fall on that, as far as how you deal with it. But you know, in this model, this actor, whoever he is in this Metallica video, he's doing what I'm doing. He's embracing his hair loss. He's still confident in what he's doing. He's happy in his life and he's confident in what he's doing. But still, as men, as brothers of the hair loss, we still, obviously, there's a part of us that questions life and, you know, what's the meaning of life and all of this, you know. And so that video does a good job of kind of pulling that apart. I think it goes back to their album Back in Black, or not Back in Black, their Black album. Sorry for the accidental AC/DC reference, but their Black album, in which they had a song called A Wolf of Man. And that's always how I felt about that song, that it was kind of addressing that dichotomy of man. Like, even if you're, you know, happy with your life, there's still that beast inside of you that is, you know, savage, as they say. So anyway, check that out. Look up look up on YouTube the video for Am I Savage for Metallica's new album, and you'll see what I'm saying. And in the process, you'll probably realize, hey, this is actually pretty cool music. Like, it's funny, as I've read through all the comments, people aren't dissing this album. They're like, this is like the best since their Black album. So this is not actually a plug for Metallica's newest album, even though it's probably going to become that. But ultimately, it's really the guy who's the main character in their Am I Savage video. I think it's a perfect example of what I'm wanting to do, is simply embrace my hair loss, my receding hairline. And as the guy in here, I think it's very symbolic of my own life, that you can be a happy person, you can be losing your hair, and you can be confident in that, like that guy in that video. So tell me your thoughts on that video, on the song. Tell me your thoughts on how you think he compares with me as far as my hairline goes. Again, not in this video, but this challenge is designed not for someone watching this for the first time, but for someone who's been watching me and subscribing and watching my other videos and seeing, you know, what my hairline really looks like and how I'm embracing this without just buzzing off my hair. So if you're new to this, welcome. I always invite you to not subscribe, because you'll always be disappointed by my next video. Except for my next video I'm making actually is pretty cool, because we're going to delve more into this concept of Brotherhood of the Hair Loss, this collection that we're all part of as we subscribe to my channel. The one after that you'll probably not like, but the next video probably will. So I'm Nick Shell. I talk about hair loss a lot. Tell me your thoughts. I really want to know your thoughts on the guy who's in that video for Am I Savage? And tell me what your thoughts are on the album. I mean, to me, it's just unarguably great music. So, Nick Shell, thanks for watching. I am with you. We are the brothers of the hair loss. Brotherhood of the hair loss.